Come on. 2, 3.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Broadcast Retirement Network. I'm Jeff Snyder. This is BRN AM for Thursday, May 12th, 2022. And our top story today, the state of the fiduciary in 2022. There's a lot to unpack here. And joining me now to unpack this all, John Faustino, Cindy Dash. Both are with Broadridge Financial Solutions. Cindy, John, great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us on the program this morning.
Great to see you, Jeff.
Great to be here.
Great to have you. And so we're going to talk about the Broadridge Conference in the second segment. But I thought it would be kind of cool. Let's talk about, kind of leading into that, John, let's start with you. Let's talk about the state of the fiduciary. And those are the people, for the audience's benefit, that are responsible for overseeing benefit plans like retirement plans. Give us your take. Where do we stand at the state of the fiduciary?
I think we're continuing to see a lot of regulatory pressure pushing towards new fiduciary standards, whether that's with retirement plans, with IRA rollovers. We're seeing a lot of continued effort at the federal level to enact those things. If they don't do it, we've seen evidence the states are going to take it on. One of the things that I have seen, Jeffrey, in the last several years is that beyond the regulatory pressures, we're seeing a lot more awareness from plan sponsors and end investors of the difference between fiduciary and non-fiduciary advising. So we're seeing as much market force drive changes in the industry as we are the regulation.
Cindy, when I come to you, I mean, John, I think laid it out real well. There's a lot going on both at the federal and state level, and that definition of fiduciary, sounds like it's back on the table again.
Yeah, I think John did a great job of laying that out, and I think it's an evolution. So I agree with him. And really what is so interesting is that as this process continues to move forward, the opportunity for tools and insights around rollovers and other solution sets, our clients are really coming to us and saying, hey, listen, we know that you have this great history on the FI 360 side, and we really are concerned that how can we best be in a position to serve our clients? We want to comply. And that's led us to an evolutionary tool called our Decision Optimizer. And I'm going to ping pong it back to John to talk about PT 2020 and where that fits in on the fiduciary side, because he's done such a great job with that.
John, let's talk about prohibited transaction exemption 2020. First, what is it? And let's talk about addressing it in terms of, metrics.
Sure. So PTE 2020-02 went into effect on February 16th of last year. And then there were some delays with certain implementations. Part of it went into effect on February 1st. The remainder is going into effect, the client communication bit, on July 1st of this year. And it's essentially making just about anyone that does IRA rollovers a fiduciary and subject to this prohibitive transaction exemption. So it's raising the bar. The Department of Labor wants to make sure that when rollovers are taking place, that they are in the best interest of those plan participants. And there's a lot of communication and documentation and also retrospective reviews at the home office level that are required associated with that change. So we're seeing a whole new group of individuals become subject to these fiduciary requirements. So it's bringing a completely new client base to Broadridge and FI 360.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sin. I'm sorry.
No worries. The data and insights that our clients are looking for around this. So it's not just the tools. So there's the fiduciary aspect of it. But then it's also, let me know as you see trends across the rollovers and across our book, how we can best adopt from a compliance standpoint. So it's very unique in that it's an opportunity for our advisors that currently work with us, new clients on an enterprise level, to be able to see the data across their IRA rollovers, which really hasn't occurred before. So think of it more as the intel inside, not just the tool itself.
And look, I am old enough to remember the 402F notice, the distribution paperwork. I know that the distribution process has gotten easier, and some are even talking about auto portability, but there is millions, if not billions of dollars leaving retirement plans every day. I think, John, this is really a good thing to get those types of metrics, get that information to not only feed to advisors, but advisors can feed that to the plan sponsor to say, okay, you've got X number, are you concerned about leakage?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great point, Jeffrey. And what we're seeing too is this convergence of retirement and wealth advising. So the advisors that we support, a lot of them historically, they focused just on the plan side. They didn't deal with individual participants a lot in terms of giving them individual advice. But now we're seeing the retirement plan advisors actually mind those plans in a very surgical, thoughtful way to identify those individuals that could benefit from more personalized advice. So having the details on what constitutes a good prospect to do a rollover, what other help and financial wellness can be provided to those participants is another big trend that we're following. So it's really kind of converging the compliance requirements and everything along with business development opportunities. So doing the right thing for your end clients and differentiating yourself as a result.
Yeah, and Cindy, I want to just come to you, get your perspective on that. I often have heard about leakage. More and more plan sponsors want to keep that money in the plan, or if they do have it roll out, they want to make sure that people are doing it in the best interest of the participant.
Yeah, I think John's insights are spot on. There's always been a concern about leakage, but more importantly, there's a concern about doing the right thing for the client. And this tool really allows them to do that and give them the opportunity to have a business development discussion, but be able to show that if there is leakage, and look, there may be, but this is, the reason why, and that we're engaging in a conversation with a very different group of potential clients. I think that's really important when we think about 401k plans and Main Street versus hyper. A lot of firms are trying to, scale down and make that client acquisition at this level. And it's an opportunity for them to utilize that and to do it in the right way. And one thing I really want to have come across is it's because FI360 is such a trusted partner in the industry. And we did the acquisition with that in mind in 2019, that it gives us such a unique lens for asset managers and our clients to know that FI360 is neutral, and they can provide the analytics and tools like this to help a fiduciary, because that's our history. Our history is to be there to provide that without the proprietary focus or being in the room as a record keeper. And that's really where a lot of our best ideas come from, because of that history.
John, I want to come to you last topic before we go to a commercial break and then talk about the conference. Let's talk about lifetime income. I know there was a recent announcement about a consortium that Broadridge Financial Solutions is building, but let's talk about the importance of lifetime income. We have talked for years and years and years about accumulation, but just as important, probably more important, how you're going to use the money in retirement, right? Decumulation, that's where lifetime income comes into the discussion.
Right. Yeah, and there have been products out there, Jeffrey, for almost 20 years now that I'm familiar with. Back in 2005 or so, I recall Genworth coming out with a lifetime income solution. And there have certainly been several others that have followed since then. But there have been challenges with those products getting the shelf space within plans that you would expect based on the demand. So we're very excited about this consortium. Cindy and I have discussed it for over a year, and she put me into contact with lots of her friends and connections in the industry, and several others that started with us have done that as well too. There's a common interest in helping individuals retire with more security than they are today. And the lack of defined benefit plans, the lack of purchasing power with Social Security, and the longevity that we're seeing now with folks is all creating challenges with having income well into your later years. So we've got a great group of asset managers and insurers that are focused on educating advisors, educating plan sponsors, and then developing a due diligence methodology that will allow these options to be considered very similar to how a QDIA is considered today. So we want to demystify lifetime income. In addition to the asset managers and the insurers that are with us, the American Retirement Association is also a member of the consortium. They're developing a certificate training program for advisors. So the alignment with the ARA and FI 360 and Broadridge, I think, is tremendous in terms of just leveling the playing field with how to evaluate and monitor these options.
Yeah, Cindy, I'll probably get sued by Paramount here, but this is really the final frontier, right? I'm going to quote Star Trek. This is really the final frontier. Yeah, please, Paramount. We're just small fries.
I watched the original Star Trek, so I know beam me up, Scotty, and I can go there with you.
But this is final
Sure.
frontier, right? This is so important.
It's so important. And look, inflation today, I mean, if you're retired, and my parents are, and you're thinking about, gas is $6 a gallon, I think it's not just lifetime income. They live in California. That do I have enough money when I'm retired? So these questions are even more relevant every day. And what's great about the consortium, and John referenced, friends and industry contacts. I know we're going to talk about the conference. Many of them will be there, but the key factor was, once again, can you help us? We need an objective resource to be able to take this data, to be able to find a way to deliver it, to create action, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to have the ability to have the credibility that FI 360 has. But then how do we actually get people to engage in not thinking this is just cover up for an annuity? And not that an annuity is a bad thing, but we do have a number of open architecture partners that are looking for ways to deliver solutions. And, I'm excited to go down that journey with John.
Yeah, it very important. Hard for plan sponsors and fiduciaries to go through that. They need the help of a advisor ultimately to help make that selection. It is, in some ways, a fiduciary decision. Cindy, John, I need to take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about the upcoming Broadridge Financial Solutions Conference. It's coming up this weekend. You're not going to want to miss this next segment. You're going to want to stay tuned right here on BRN AM.
But if you're tired of the same.
Imagine a new television network that will make you richer, healthier, and in control of your financial future. This network is for the policewoman in Nashville, Tennessee, the baker in Dubuque, Iowa, the teacher in Lexington, Kentucky. We want to make the idea of savings and retirement culturally relevant. But what do you see as a defining issue of the midterms? Especially for the smaller businesses. I mean, they are the lifeblood of the American economy. Featuring exclusive interviews, current affairs, and docuseries. 33 years old, you retired early.
The philosophy is money only matters if it helps you live a life that you love.
But you got to start thinking about retirement as soon as you get in.
The Broadcast Retirement Network will drive very high engagement with premium partnerships. So this isn't retirement and savings for your parents or grandparents. This is for all Americans. And we're going to change the way you think about money. Welcome to the next frontier of retirement and savings. This is BRN, the Broadcast Retirement Network.
Are you stuck with a low credit score? A credit report and score that's causing you to be denied credit or pay higher interest rates than others for the same things? Then do what Terrence did and call Credit Repaired for your free credit evaluation to help restore your credit.
I started thinking about buying a new house, and my score wasn't where I needed it to be. I called and spoke with one of the representatives, and we just had a good conversation, and I liked what he was saying.
Just one call for his free credit evaluation was all it took to start back on the track to repairing his credit.
I'm seeing the deletions and I'm getting the report, so I know something's being done. It does make a difference to me.
All it takes is one call to get started.
Credit repair has given me a second chance to have a better credit score.
Don't let a low credit score hold you back another day. Do what Terrence did and make the call for your free credit evaluation.
Call 800-819-4152. That's 800-819-4152. Again, 800-819-4152.
Welcome back. We're talking to Cindy Dash and John Faustino of Broadridge Financial Solutions. Cindy, John, thanks so much for staying with us this morning.
Great to be
Great
here.
to see you again.
All right, so we had a good conversation. I think the state of the fiduciary, there's a lot going on. There's a lot that has to be unpacked. If you're a financial advisor, a consultant, someone in the space helping fiduciaries. Cindy, I want to come to you because you've got the big conference coming up I think it kicks off on Sunday. I actually will be there, so that will be fun. You'll actually get to see that I have legs. But tell us a little bit about the conference. What can attendees expect if they're going to be there in person or attend virtually?
Well, first, I'm beyond excited. I'm pumped. I can't believe it. We're really going to make this happen in person. Since we acquired FI360, we haven't been able to have an in-person conference. Austin, a great venue. So I think what everybody can expect, and for those of you who will be virtually, is just that feeling of partnership again and connection. And really, I've been getting texts from people. It's amazing, saying, can't wait to see you. And there's a lot of meaning in that. And it makes you just feel great that you're going to have an opportunity, to your point. I'm not so worried about your legs, but that I actually might be able to give somebody a hug or, whatever it is, just because this has been a long couple of years for a lot of reasons, for a lot of people in, not a great way. And so I'm really looking forward to making that connection. But from a pure substance point, we talked about fiduciary. There's going to be a ton of sessions, geared towards tools, new products, solutions, conversation around fiduciary. There's subject matter experts. Fred Reish will be in the house. Jason Roberts, who helped us with the Decision Optimizer, tools, and of course our keynote speakers that always bring it. But to me, it's really just an opportunity to once again connect and to learn more from each other.
Yeah, John, I mean, there is nothing like being able to shake hands, hug, if that's your preference, or just to kind of look at somebody's body language and see what they're thinking or really thinking. Really good opportunity to kind of interact with your peers and experts like Cindy mentioned, Fred Reish, Jason Roberts, among many, many others from the retirement ecosystem.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm thrilled that we're going to be in person, just like Cindy is. This will be the first time since we were acquired that we'll be in front of our great advisor community. And as Cindy mentioned, we're going to have over 30 sessions that are going to be highly educational. Most of them are going to qualify for not only FI360 continuing education credit, but also CFP and IWI, the conveyors of the SEMA designation. So we're really thrilled about that. Our keynote session on Sunday is going to be Mary Green and Carrie Moore from Federated. They're our premier sponsors. They're talking about how you deal with evaluating ESG in the context of retirement plans. And Damon John of FUBU and Shark Tank fame is going to be our non-industry speaker. A couple of years ago, we started to put that non-industry speaker on the first day of the conference, and I think it does a wonderful job of opening up folks' minds. So instead of waiting until that last day to have that non-industry speaker, we bring that individual up in the agenda, and I think it does a great job of creating interaction among the participants and the like. So we're really thrilled that we were able to secure him.
30 sessions, and I remember, look, we were just talking about Star Trek. I remember when Marsha Brady signed up for all those clubs, and you can't be in all places, right? If someone misses a session, will they be able? Is it? And they don't even videotape anymore, but is it recorded so that I might be able to watch it on the back end, or I might be able to take out, if I attended the session, I might be able to take something away from it in a, on the plane ride home.
Absolutely. So we're not only going to have in-person attendees, but we're going to have virtual attendees as well. We've got a hybrid format, wanting to make sure that we can make the content as accessible as possible this year. We will be recording the CE eligible session. So if you've got a conflict, if you really want to see Fred Reish and you really want to see someone else at the same time, you can go back and see the one that you didn't see after the fact. So you will have the opportunity to see all of the sessions if you're so interested.
Yeah, and I would say, Marsha, because I'm Cindy, so you can tell where I was probably named as the youngest there. But I do want to highlight also that we are hosting a women's leadership forum, Power Breakfast. We do a tremendous amount around diversity, equity, and inclusion, and that is available to attend on Sunday. And we're going to have Nuveen is going to be present. Brendan McCarthy is going to be on that panel. Mary Twergerson from Ubiquity. And our very own Sarah Chase McRory is going to moderate. And so we're really going to use it as an opportunity to share where we're going in terms of providing sessions for female advisors, and not just female, but men and women interacting around inequality in retirement. And so I'm really looking forward to that one as well.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it's a very diverse conference agenda. And Cindy, I have to ask you, since you mentioned you were potentially named after Cindy Brady, did you have a backyard that was made out of AstroTurf?
I did not, but I do kill it in Brady trivia, just in case. And part of the conference, I've been known to take a little too seriously on the ping pong or table tennis, so it's all in fun, but I do think those are moments that, humanize us. It gives us the opportunity to share, once again, kind of, we are all really geared towards doing the right thing and helping people retire with dignity and save. And it really is a unique group of people in this industry that get to come together, and I can't wait.
Yeah, it's less about numbers, more about the people. Ultimately, that's who's saving for their retirement. John Faustino, Cindy Dash, great to see you. Good luck at the conference. I'll see you there with my legs too. Have a good rest of the day, and we'll talk to you very soon.
Looking
Thanks,
forward
John.
to seeing you in Austin.
That wraps up this episode of BRN AM. Have a topic of interest, someone you think we should talk to? Drop us a line, and don't forget, for all the latest curated news in lifestyle, wellness, finance, tech, so much more in all in one place, check out today's edition of our daily newsletter, The Morning Pulse. Want to search our archives, check out our latest content? Well, you can visit our website and our streaming partners like Amazon, Roku, Samsung. You've got over 100 to choose from. We're back again tomorrow for another edition of BRN AM. Until then, I'm Jeff Snyder. Stay safe.
Waiting here for you to take and drink of. But if you're tired,
Now is your opportunity to co-create content around any topic on the first lifestyle and wellness network. Reach a global audience through our platform and co-own exclusive branded content. All of our programs are available on demand and also as audio-only podcasts, so you can take us on the go. Broadcast Retirement Network, available anytime, anywhere, and on any device.
Are you being audited and do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate your tax bill and reduce your stress. The IRS can freeze your assets and seize your bank accounts, but you can stop these IRS actions. The Tax Doctor will work with you using our years of experience to represent your case to help you get the best resolution under the IRS guidelines. Help is here to deal with the IRS to reduce your stress. We've handled thousands of cases, so we know what we're doing. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, do not call the IRS alone. Call a tax doctor now for a tax emergency analysis.
Call 800-224-6439.